What is up, XRP community? Welcome back to another video. Thank you for joining me. Another massive asset manager going bullish on crypto. Not only do they have a Bitcoin ETF product already, but speculating Van Eck that Bitcoin could reach $2.9 million per coin by 2050. And then he throws in a joke that XRP could reach 60 cents by 2050. And I don't think this is crazy. Although Bitcoin was designed to be peer-to-peer money, it has morphed into this digital gold currency, and it might survive being a finite digital asset that people will use to store and protect their purchasing power, similar to precious metals. However, even if Bitcoin has this massive success and role in the future financial system, XRP can coexist. These fortunes, now placed in digital assets, will need infrastructure to move. Combine that with the emergence of real-world asset tokenization, and considering everything in the world will be tokenized in some form on the blockchain, there's more value in this space than one's mind can comprehend. And XRP is leading the payment rail blockchain space to tokenize these assets and then move and transact with them. Really quick, I just want to say thank you to all the subscribers on the channel. The best way to support the video is hitting the like button. It's free and it gives me some feedback, lets me know you're getting something out of the content. Thank you in advance for the support on the channel. Right here. They want you focused on Bitcoin, while governments and financial institutions quietly integrate XRP into their system and manage all their debts and tokenized assets. The partnerships are out in the open.
None of this makes sense on the surface. And when something doesn't make sense on the surface, there's usually a good reason why the designers of this currency don't want it to make sense on the purpose. So we can look at the details of what they say. They say it's to facilitate BRICS trade. Well, again, trade channels. They say the key highlight is that it's the gateway for the BRICS trade. But again, who owns and manages this new currency? Will it only be government officials that manage it, or what I suspect is private individuals who set up this fund on a consignment from the government, acting on their own, and the government has to leave the management to these non-government officials.
It's clear this was not designed for the retail user. XRP is greener, XRP is quicker, XRP is superior, XRP is the future. In Wales, really quick, one thing about Bitcoin, whales are hoarding Bitcoin. Whales with 100 plus Bitcoins hit a 17-month high. That's $6 million or more. And this is amidst uncertain macro and crypto conditions. The whales are not stopping. These are the elites, people who may not honestly know much more than you or I, but have access to doors and rooms a middle-class person does not. It's not always what you know. A lot of the time in life, it's who you know. And these crypto centimillionaires are privy to secret information and market analysis a regular individual like you or me potentially would have to work really hard for. As crypto prices have let retail traders down, smart money does not care. Bitcoin whales are growing in number. A net gain of 280 wallets holding at least 100 Bitcoins emerged in just the last month. There's now 16,000 such wallets on the network with over 100 Bitcoin. And if you guys want $41 for free, sign up with Webull. It's a stock trading platform, really big all across the world, but this is for the USA only. They're just trying to get new users. So if you deposit a penny, you're guaranteed up to $3,000 in free stocks, but typically you just get 40 to 300, but you're guaranteed $40 minimum value. They just hope that in the future you'll do all your stock trading there. You really just have to deposit a penny, sell your stocks, close your account, claim your 41 bucks. You can find a link to Webull in the video description below. And if you guys need a spot to get crypto, check out Uphold. It's where I get my XRP daily. You can find a link to Uphold in the video description below. In Japan, the CEO of their leading bank right here, just confirming every bank will use XRP in Japan.
Actually, Japan is a very, very cash-oriented society. Surprisingly, yeah. People think we are kind of advanced, but by the way, I come from Japan. But the percentage of digital payments of all the transactions is actually only 19%. So it's actually kind of national agenda to increase digital payments. And the government encourage banks to innovate so that they can increase digital payments ratio. So now what we are doing in Japan is we created a consortium of more than 50 banks to come together to develop a completely new payments platform or infrastructure powered by Ripple's distributed ledger technology, which basically replaced the existing domestic payments system called the Zengin system, and also can be applied for cross-border payments as well.
And that contrasts with Zelle, which is a fantastic enterprise.
Exactly.
Japan, one of the world's leading economic powers in terms of size and innovative technology, and they're leading the way along with the Southeast and Middle Eastern regions. This cannot be understated. These banks, they're plugged in and they're ready to leverage this technology. They just need the regulatory clarity from their legal teams to go online. This will save them millions and billions of dollars in capital. Business is all about churning a profit. In banking, it's specifically the business of money management. So why would these banks pass up on more capital and better business results? Hint, they won't. It's a when moment, not an if moment. And the trend of de-dollarization continues. As the dollar weakens, more pressure is placed on these smaller countries to seek an alternative to the negatives they experience with the dollar being the world reserve currency. BRICS, the only significant non-US dollar-based organization, has been gaining massive traction over the years. I'm sure you've been hearing about it a lot recently. And now Turkey has decided to join. They're going online, the BRICS nations, with their digital payment systems soon. How do you think the US will react to that competition? Imagine the speed of implementation and adoption of crypto in the USA if Donald Trump fulfills his promise to make the US the crypto capital of the planet. It would be insane. Now, all politicians do lie and they make big promises they rarely fulfill. So we will just have to wait and see. But the BRICS versus dollar battle continues to heat up. This next video from a great content creator called Waters Above, check him out in the video description. I'll link his stuff. And he's talking about important information about this current XRP price chart. Take a listen.
My take on XRP. I said very clearly at least 2 years ago, and I've said it every single time I've come back together with him or any other analyst or any other interview that I've had, that in order to see XRP really start becoming very bullish, we need to see price discovery for Bitcoin. So until Bitcoin breaks above that 71.5K, said it a million times, don't expect anything crazy on XRP, especially because what triggered phase 5 to be completed in 2017 was Bitcoin price discovery. So that's what we need right now, guys. And if we can see Bitcoin get above that 71.5K to 72K and start approaching 80K, I do think we'll explosively move on XRP to $1.40, $1.60, like in a straight line. We could get a little bit of resistance there, but then remind yourselves that once we start closing macro candles above $1.50, it's thin air until the all-time high. So this move is very similar. Imagine where it went out of the pocket here, stalled out a little bit. That's how I think it would be, making its way to $1.40, $1.60, but it doesn't last long because once Bitcoin then gets into the 90K, 100K territory, that's when I think you'll have this move right here. And I believe we'll break all-time high right through that fast, and then head to about $7 to $8 on the initial move, and then we'll track it after that. You know, I have shared on his channel that I perceive in my analysis a possibility up to $25, $24 XRP, but it's a step-by-step process. We're still at 50 cents. We can't get ahead of ourselves, one step at a time, right? That's how you stay keeping your emotions on the sidelines, remain a sophisticated investor, and do everything a way where you can really take advantage of this bull run without letting any tribalism or any psyops take over your investment.
It's just important to remember that if Bitcoin isn't going up in the short term, unless there's an XRP ETF or some massive announcement, XRP won't as well. So it's always important to keep an eye on Bitcoin. Now what I want to leave you with is this video from RFK Jr. And he talks about the Ukraine conflict in BlackRock and really the source of this whole thing. And I was kind of mind blown about it because I've read a lot about the Ukraine-Russian thing. I'm kind of nervous to talk about it on YouTube. If you guys do like my content and you watch me on Rumble, maybe check out my Rumble in the video description below. All the same content and a little bit more stuff that can't really put on YouTube. And I think comment if you guys knew what RFK Jr. was saying, but really, really fascinating video that I found on Twitter. And if you guys made it this far into the video, thank you for watching the video. Let me know you made it this far by commenting Ukraine. Watching the full video is the best way to support, and I don't take your time for granted. So thank you in advance, and enjoy this mind-blowing clip.
This is a war that should have never happened. It's a war that Russians tried repeatedly to settle on terms that were very, very beneficial to Ukraine and us. The major thing they wanted was for us to keep NATO out of the Ukraine. The big military contractors want to add new countries to NATO all the time. Why? Because then that country has to conform its military purchases to NATO weapon specifications, which means certain companies, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, General Dynamics, Boeing, and Lockheed, get a trapped market. In March of 2022, we committed $113 billion. Just to give you an example, we could have built a home for almost every homeless person in this country. We then committed another $24 billion since then, 2 months ago, and now President Biden is asking for another $60 billion. But the big, big expenses are going to come after the war, when we have to rebuild all the things that we destroyed. Mitch McConnell was asked, can we really afford to spend $113 billion to Ukraine? He said, don't worry. It's not really going to Ukraine.
It's going to American defense manufacturers.
So he just admitted it's a money laundering scheme. And who do you think owns every one of those companies? BlackRock. So Tim Scott, during the Republican debate, said, don't worry, it's not a gift to Ukraine, it's a loan. So raise your hand if you think that that loan's ever getting paid back. Yeah, of course it's not. So why do they call it a loan? Because if they call it a loan, they can impose loan conditions. And what are the loan conditions that we impose on? Number one, an extreme austerity program, so that if you're poor in Ukraine, you're going to be poor forever. Number two, most important, Ukraine has to put all of its government-owned assets up for sale to multinational corporations, including all of its agricultural land, the biggest single asset in Europe. In Ukraine, there's been 1,000 years of war fought over that land. It's the richest farmland in the world. It's the breadbasket of Europe. 500,000 kids almost, Ukrainian kids, have died to keep that land as part of Ukraine. They almost certainly didn't know about this loan condition. They've already sold 30% of it. The buyers were DuPont, Cargill, and Monsanto. Who do you think owns all of those companies? Yeah, BlackRock. And then in December, President Biden gave out the contract to rebuild Ukraine. And who do you think got that contract? BlackRock. So they're doing this right in front of us. They don't even care that we know anymore, because they know that they can get away with it. And how do they know that? Because they have a strategy. And that strategy is an old strategy, which is they keep us at war with each other. They keep us hating on each other. They keep the Republicans and Democrats fighting each other, black against white, and all these divisions that they sow.